Okay, so just wanted to do a little bit of history, just so you can contextualise where we've come from today. So yeah, this is a film that many of you would have watched. So I watched this film, which is called Back to the Future, in the summer with my kids, and it scared me a little bit that this film was made in 1985. And if you remember the film, they go back to 1955, which is 30 years back, and I was watching it 30 years the other way. I found that quite a scary concept. And then I was starting to think, well, in that 30 years back from 1985 to 1955, there's huge social change through the 60s, really massive, reconfiguration of society and relationships in society around equality, in particular in the 1960s around gender equality. And what we've seen in the last 30 years from 2014, 2015 back to 1985, has it been so significant? And it was also a reminder to me, thinking about it, and actually these programs have been running for most of that period, and what's the real impact they've had as well. So just getting the kind of dusting off the history books, if we go back to 1995, is anyone here involved in Socrates? Okay, right, good, yeah. Oh, you went on it, fantastic, there you go, brilliant. So that had, in its objectives, social inclusion, making sure that people who found it hard to engage in learning could do, but the evaluation at the end of Socrates said that actually, yeah, it's a priority, but more could have been done. It wasn't completely translated into practice when they did the end of the ex post evaluation. When they evaluated Leonardo, which was one of the successor programs in 2002, 7 years later, actually specifically stated that in the implementation of the program that there had been less focus on social inclusion compared to the previous program, so it got worse. Then there was a bit of a redoubling of efforts on ET 2010. So again, policy agenda was definitely there. You can see it in all the policy documents, very, very clearly stated priority. But again, the evaluation came back saying not prominent in spite of increased policy focus. So there's a sort of trend emerging here, which is what I was saying earlier about, are we interested here in incremental change, which you could probably argue there was incremental change in spite of these comments and recommendations. But actually the step change has never quite happened. Then, of course, we had huge financial crash in 2008, which really shaped the Erasmus Plus program in terms of its focus on youth employment, ultimately. And then we saw the ET 2020 strategy. Out of the 5 headline targets, I think you could say that 3 of them, so over half of them, were specifically around social inclusion. So again, the policy focus has increased again, and now we're in the stage of implementation. So our job really is to say, actually, we're doing enough to translate that into practice.